Welcome back to another day here on the Winter's Lorcana channel. It has been a hot minute, I know. I am trying something new in today's video, so I would very much appreciate your guys' feedback in the comments down below about today's video. I'm going to play 3 different versions of how to play, or how to film rather, this game, and I want you guys to tell me feedback. Give me feedback. What's your favorite? What was your favorite type of footage? What was your favorite game? That sort of thing. Should the footage be in a certain order? Just to break it down so it's not so crazy. We are going to do one game on Inktable. So that's the old way that we've been making videos for a long time now, ever since Pixelborn shut down. So Inktable, that's what we've been doing. There's going to be one game that was via Discord with my good friend Max Illuminary, and then I have 2 games that I recorded at Tuesday Night Lorcana with my actual phone, a tripod, and just sitting down, looking down at the table at us playing. So 3 different styles of how to capture footage here. The top-down, real-life, in-person gameplay, I will be doing voiceover for it, and hopefully we'll get some overlays and stuff in there. But if you find yourself watching one of the games and you're one of those people that's like, oh, I've seen enough, let's click away. Please don't click away. Instead, use the YouTube thing where you can filter, you can see the chapters, go to the next game and give that at least a minute or 2 to see what the footage is like and give me feedback on it. Once you've watched a minute or 2 of that, skip to the next game. So you at least see all 3 versions. And this is because whichever one you guys like the most, that's probably the one I'm going to lean into very heavily moving forward. So this is your chance to tell me, what do you like to see? Now, something else that I've done with this particular video is I've given myself more time, about a week. Now, it's been a little over a week because there's also some testing with how to get the footage and I had to wait for equipment and stuff to show up, but I'm giving myself a week to sit with a deck instead of I make a deck the night before and then I spend 2 hours with it the following morning and then that's it. It's gone forever. I spend 2 hours with the deck and it's done. That's what I've been doing. Now I'm spending a whole week with this list. So I should become really knowledgeable about it over the course of that week, as opposed to just the 2 hours with it. So you won't see it in today's video because there was so much other stuff I had to focus on. But in the next one, you're going to hopefully see an evolution of the deck from game to game. As I play a handful of games, make a couple of changes, go to the next game. So that's going to be something to look forward to as well. Again, you won't see it in this video, but it is definitely a theme that I will be focusing on moving forward. Now, real quick, let's look at the deck. This is the Casey Heal 8-case champion deck. This is the first place winning deck. There's only a couple things in here that are really kind of, oh, that's interesting. And the first one is Moana. A 1-drop 3/2 character. There are no captains in this deck, so this character cannot attack. But if you can go turn 1 Moana into a turn 2 Flynn Rider, you now have a very powerful turn 2 threat that is very likely going to be active. There's very few things that deactivate the Flynn here. I mean, mostly steel. It's mostly all in steel. Like, so if you're playing against steel, be wary because steel can disrupt this. But they have the early removal and they have the early 2-cost 3-strength characters. So, you know, that is a thing. Also, you could have the bounce snake as a 3-strength to tie. So it's not an end all be all, but it is interesting because if you do stick the turn 1, turn 2 Moana into Flynn, there's a very solid chance you're going to gain some lore off of Flynn pretty quickly, which is really cool. The other thing in the deck that I really enjoy was Belle. You won't see it in today's video. It didn't make the final cut, but I did play a game with Gambit and I top decked Belle twice in a row for an easy victory. It was just the coolest way to just clean up my opponent's board and have this really powerful Belle in play. I really did enjoy having Belle in this deck. The oddball for me though with this list, and it's the last thing I'm going to talk about in this deck, is the one of Elsa, Spirit of Winter, and the one of Sisu, Empowered Sibling, because the consistency is very strange. And you have the potential to run into moments where you're like, having a Sisu right now would be really good, but I'm drawing Elsa and that's sucky. Or vice versa, having Elsa right now would be exactly what I need to not lose, and you draw a Sisu who doesn't do anything to the board. And then both being a one of, at times can feel bad, but surprisingly, having played the games at this point already, they actually seem to be fine. Like the amount of times that they showed up, I honestly would have liked to have seen Elsa just a hair more, but the amount of times they showed up felt appropriate and timely. So I don't know, maybe there's something to the 1-1, but looking at the list initially, it does seem really strange. Now let's jump in and let's see if we can't win a few. All right, so in this first game, I am playing against a real life opponent, goes to my locals, and he goes by SouthPaw. He's actually won one of the monthly raffle giveaways in December, and he is playing what he has told me is a brand new kind of janky deck. So we don't know what we're running into here. So the mulligan is a little challenging. So I'm trying to basically just find a really solid curve and ink. Those are my main things that I'm really after. Since I really don't know what I'm looking for. The other thing that'd be really nice to run into would be turn 1 Moana, which we did find, but we want to follow it up with a turn 2 Flynn, which I do not see in our opening hand. Unfortunately, that would be a really sweet opening, but here we go. Instantly, we've got some knowledge. We're playing against an amber location deck. It must be, or it's a very weird include. And there's a location. Sugar Rush. We're playing against a Sugar Rush deck, potentially. Might even be a finish line in this particular list. So I want to get to the board quickly because I don't know what kind of characters are going to be playing. I would imagine it's going to be like the taffeta stuff because they interact with locations pretty well. So we're going to start off turn 1 play because I'm looking at getting my turn 2 play Snake on board. Our Moana in this particular list can never attack because we don't possess a captain character. So it cannot attack. So I just want to establish the ability to play something here. That something being a snake followed by a turn 3 Sisu. Just getting power on the board. Because if we could take out locations, it'll be tough for a location deck to do the thing it's trying to do. So they usually rely on the fact that they have locations. So we're going to quest with the Moana and we're going to play the snake. And I forgot to ready my ink, but there it is. Ready it. Ink, play a snake, get snake, ready to go. So now we can start challenging these things. And let's see what other sorts of shenanigans SouthPaw is playing today. He tends to bring a bunch of strange lists in. And so like, I found that I can win about 80% of the time, but that 20%, that sheer surprise factor it's pretty potent. When you don't know what you're playing against, it's pretty easy to ink the wrong thing and then immediately regret it the next turn. Now, he's just dropped a Wendy. Wendy is an evasive character, and we do not currently have any evasives in play, but we are on curve here to go turn 3 into Sisu, turn 4 into Genie, and Genie can deal with a Wendy, so that's what we're going to play for. But instead, we're going to go with the Crab because I want to take out the location. They just played, I believe that's a Taffeta in play. The glare makes it difficult to see, but they're starting to get value off the location, so I really just wanted to get rid of it. And now I see a second Wendy, and now we're in trouble because Wendy's see each other as pirates, so they get the plus strength and the plus lore. So now these guys are questing for 2 apiece. So now evasive has just become kind of a problematic thing for us. Mostly because we don't have any evasives in hand except for that Genie. So that's what we're going to do this turn. We're going to ink, and we're going to play Genie. And I'm thinking I want to keep almost everything in my hand, unfortunately. Sisu can be big and strong, but we're kind of past her on curve at this point, so that's why she's going to be ink. Maui's take out locations. Fox can take out locations. And of course, if we need to eventually use Madame Medusa, she can hit the evasive characters. I'm going to go ahead and quest for 2 because we can't attack Wendy. But now we have Genie in play, so we're feeling pretty good about this. Until we get brawled. brawled right in the face of Genie. So now SouthPaw is quested for 4 every turn, and I still don't actively have a way to stop him. It's not looking good. So we can top deck an Elsa at pretty much any time and feel really good. You know, it's got 2 strength, 5 willpower, rush, and it exerts a thing when we play it. So plus it has the evasive, so we could take out the Wendy's. Just drawing an Elsa, the 5th spirit here, would be amazing, but we have yet to find it. So now our opponent has 2 exerted characters, neither of which we can attack. So we just need to develop setting up the magic broom here so that we can potentially draw some cards off of it and help us dig for evasive answers. Quest for 2. And then here we go. We're going to play the Fox. We're going to bounce the Merlin back to hand in case we need the attack again for locations. Sacrifice the broom, draw a card. Goat is not what we're looking for, but it's good ink. I tend to ink my goats against conventional wisdom. Alright, so we're still facing down some Wendy's. Now, the upside is if we can get rid of 1 Wendy, we got Madame Medusa in hand. If we get rid of a Wendy, it turns off the plus lore that they get. So the remaining one would only quest for 1. But Minnie Mouse here happens to be a stinking pirate. So we are still going to have to deal with a Wendy that can quest for 2, even when we get rid of one of the Wendy's. Furthermore, the Minnie Mouse he just played, whenever he inks, he can return a location from his discard to his hand. Not whenever, once per turn when he inks. So he just got the Sugar Rush back, so now we know that that's a card that he can play again. Another goat! Oh man, that's not what we want to see. Goats are great for like when you're trying to close the game, but as you can see, we're at 4. So we're going to play the Madame Medusa, get rid of one of these Wendy's, stem the bleeding a little bit. Now, we need to get rid of the other Wendy's, still don't have any evasive threats of our own. So minimum, it's going to be 2 turns before this Wendy's gone. Because we either need to find an evasive or we find an Elsa the 5th spirit. That's the only way we're going to get it done in 1 turn. And I believe there are brawls in my deck somewhere. I just have to find them. But SouthPaw here is going to continue to develop his board. And right now, I'm just thinking about what other location card characters does he have that we need to worry about? What other characters are in his deck that care that he have locations? I would imagine he has one of the Wreck-It Ralph characters. I don't remember all their names, but one of the Wreck-It Ralph characters, when you play it, or whenever you move it to a location, rather, you gain 2 lore straight away. I imagine that's probably in his deck somewhere, so I'm thinking about that. I'm counting the lore on his board. And here comes the Sugar Rush. We're at the starting line. And, oh, Tuk Tuk. This is one that's actually, I completely forgot about, but when you play Tuk Tuk, you may move it and another character of yours to a location you control for free. And then that character you move gets plus strength. So now he's able to trade Fix-It Felix with my Fox. Pretty sneaky. And guess what? Tuk Tuk is also evasive. Something that our deck, funny enough, doesn't hardly struggle with. But in this particular game, I'm not seeing any of our evasive characters. And it's actually getting to be a little problematic for me. But Chernobog's here. That's a card that we can eventually trade for value. I need to get Medusa back into my hand so I can replay it. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. We take out the finish line, or the starting line, rather. Bounce the Medusa back to hand with a Fox. And then ink a goat. And we're going to play a crab and a Chernobog's followers. Now, crab doesn't pump anything meaningful. I recognize I made a mistake there. I should have quested for 1 with Madame Medusa, bounced it with the Fox, and then the Fox could have finished off the starting line there, the Sugar Rush Speedway. Because the way I played it, now my Fox is just readied, and it could have attacked, but there was nothing left to attack. I definitely played that wrong there. SouthPaw questing up to 15. Now, I have seen that he had a thievery in his deck at another point, or had played thievery in another deck. And I'm looking at the fact that he's got Ruby, and I'm wondering if he's running thievery in this deck. So I'm counting his lore on board and thinking specifically about thievery. Is he going to get up to 19 and then play thievery and just win the game? So that's what I'm trying to play against. And finally, we draw an Elsa, the 5th spirit, but is it too late for it to be meaningful? I think so, because we're just going to go ahead and pop off Madame Medusa. We're going to take out the Wendy. Now, I did make a mistake here. I did forget that Tuk Tuk was evasive, and I was planning on attacking it here with the snake. And then very quickly, everyone around me is like, hey, that's evasive. You can't do that. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even see it. So yeah, we're not trading there. So instead, we're going to quest with Chernobygs, draw some cards. Knowing that Snake cannot attack Tuk Tuk, does that mean I should have played Elsa instead? I don't think so. We're still in the same position because Elsa would have just attacked Wendy regardless. It is the one questing for the most. And Elsa couldn't one-shot Tuk Tuk anyway. So there's really no way of getting rid of Tuk Tuk. Alternatively, I could have played Elsa, taken out Wendy, waited a turn, played Madame Medusa to get rid of Tuk Tuk. Fortunately, we sang friends on the other side here, and we drew into another Madame Medusa. So we can technically take out the Tuk Tuk on the following turn if we need to. But I also drew a Be Prepared. So we're going to quest out here. My plan has just solidified itself. I'm going to hope that SouthPaw here plays heavily to the board. We're going to quest out on our following turn. We're just going to Be Prepared. We're just going to nuke everything. With a follow-up Madame Medusa, I'm feeling pretty good because I can just take out whatever characters he plays after the fact. And then he drops 2 locations on me. So now I'm not questing on my turn. Instead, I am going to be challenging those locations before I play the Be Prepared because I want SouthPaw to have nothing left, if possible. And then here's where things are getting scary. He could have quested for 2 more and gone to 19 here. If he had done that, he probably would have won this game. Here we go. We're going to take out the Neverland. And then I make a decision here that questing is more important because Sugar Rush isn't that strong on its own. So I'm not worried about it. And don't forget, he's got Fix-It Felix, so I do have to double attack the Neverland. Madame Medusa and Crab both have to take it out because the Fix-It Felix is giving extra defense to this character of theirs. Or this location, rather. Alright. Now it's time to see what can SouthPaw come up with. Alright. Go the distance. Lets them draw another card. It does stuff with characters, but we don't have any. I just Be Prepared. So it does still draw a card. And Ink in a Brawl. That's good. And there it is. There's the card we were thinking about. Is it called Taffeta? I can't tell by looking. It's a little blurry. There's the one I was worried about. You play this character, move it to a location, you gain 2 lore. There it is. So I was thinking about that. I was worried about it. Here it is. If they had quested with any other character on the turn before Be Prepared, they would have just won the game right now. But fortunately, they were a little nervous that I was going to be able to just attack out their board. They didn't know about the Be Prepared. So now I need to take out their character, and ideally the location if I could, but we're going to settle for the character. That way they can't just simply quest on their next turn. Thankfully, Sugar Rush Speedway does not gain any lore on its own. So now we're going to set up. So we're going to have Madame Medusa and Flynn. So ideally we're going to gain the lore off of Flynn on our following turn. Right here, I'm just saying, don't draw Thievery. Don't draw Thievery. Don't draw another Taffeta. Whatever they draw, they can't play it. They pass the turn straight back. So yeah, there was a couple of top deck outs here for SouthPaw, which would have been really obnoxious for us. So to be on the safe side, now it's time to play this Maui and take out that location because we do not want them playing another. I believe it's a Taffeta. I think that's what it is. We don't want them playing another one, moving it to the location, and just gaining a bunch of lore. So we got the Flynn trigger, and then we quest out. So we gained a total of 5 lore this turn, bringing us up to 16. And we do have lethal in play as of right now. They either need to play something with 6 strength, that way I don't get a Flynn trigger, or they need to deal with Flynn or something. Neither of those are going to do it. Flips a Tuk-Tuk off the deck for his revealed card draw. Not going to do it, unfortunately, for SouthPaw. So now we just ready up, quest, get the Flynn trigger, and that is game. Real quick, I know we're right in the middle of 2 games here. I just wanted to bring to your attention real quick. There is a link in the description down below for Patreon. I have been looking at it and doing the math, and did you know that $1 per month on Patreon actually is worth more than if you were to watch 100% of my videos every single day all month compared to the AdSense? That $1 is worth more than the AdSense. That is wild. So if you want to help support the channel, that is the best way to do so. It helps me do the giveaways. I have all of these like booster pack things that I built that I give away, and I'm going to start from now on, starting with the very next video. I'm going to be releasing my videos early, either 2 or 3 days early. So if you want to see all the videos early, that is going to be down there for all the $1 and above Patreon members. Additionally, in the process of making this video, I have acquired just additional footage of games that I played for this. I'm going to just start uploading random one-off games that just happened to get recorded that didn't make the final cut for video. So if you want extra content and to see the main content early, Patreon. It's linked down below, and it starts at the $1 tier. That's right, the $1 tier will get you all of that. So it's down there. Think about it. All right. In this next game, we are playing against Gambit. Gambit, like SouthPaw, both commented in the videos, and they both won a prize last month. Congratulations to both of them. Gambit's another local player, and Gambit is a good player, but he is a little on the predictable side. That's not a bad thing. I do know what he's playing, but despite that, he's a very, very good player, and our games tend to go pretty 50-50. So he likes to pick a deck for the time frame leading up to usually set champs, and he'll play the same colors, the same-ish deck with minor changes that whole time. And so I know he is on Amethyst, Steel, Purple, Gray, because it's a potent color combination, and the more he plays it, the better he gets at it, which is why he focuses heavily on it. And so yeah, I do know a little bit of what he's playing here. Now I'm going to try to challenge him here a bit by playing a Flynn, and his deck has a lot of 3 strength characters, so my goal is to get a Sisu down straight away, because the other thing that his deck likes to do is it likes to have a relatively full hand, which makes Sisu really big, which makes Flynn a powerhouse for us. So that's my goal here. I want to give him something to struggle with early, and then close the game at the tail end with all the extra value we get from Flynn. Ideally, if we can get 2 triggers off of Flynn, I feel pretty confident we'll win 90% of those games. So the trick is to get a setup so we gain the first trigger, because once we have the first trigger, the second trigger, it feels more like a 50-50. That's just a feeling. But here comes the Sisu. So now here we are. He's not going to be able to do anything except for potentially have removal. So that's what we're looking for. Does he have removal for either Sisu or Flynn? And if he doesn't, we're going to gain that first trigger, and the second trigger feels like it has a better shot than the first trigger, because if you can't get past the first trigger, odds of you getting to the second trigger go up Because they don't have removal the first time, they likely don't have removal the second time. But it could just also be a matter of ink. I also know he is running Along Came Zeus. I know he's also running, what was the fire card, where it does damage per character you have. I always forget the name of it. Something fire, Strength of a Raging Fire. That's it. I know he runs that. So the other thing is, could have one of those two characters there sing it after playing a third character. And that gets, or even possibly a fourth character if he wants to get Sisu. Here we are, top decking. Playing a Genie, just for advantage. It's an evasive character that I know he'll struggle to deal with. And if he has to take out the Sisu to stop the Flynn triggers, that means he's not taking out Genie, so that it's just a really solid follow-up character here. It replaces itself, it's evasive, it quests for 2, and my opponent now has a choice. And the choice is not great either way, honestly. So here it is, the moment of truth. We did get 1 Flynn trigger. Are they going to go to 4 and have a Zeus? Or are they going to play a couple of characters and sing? I really can't make out Gambit's hand here from this particular angle. It is just a little too vertical, so I can't really see what he's got going on. Ink and a Fox. I like that. I can see still has like at least 5 cards in hand. Now it's going down to 4. So Sisu's getting weaker as we go. This is definitely a character. But what are we playing? Chernobog into Magic Room. There we go. We're singing Strength of a Raging Fire. There goes the Sisu. So that was the other possibility. That's why I said it's like a 50% chance you'll get the second trigger. Because sometimes they're just, it's early enough, they just need the resources to play the removal. And they just don't have it early enough for the first trigger. Alright. Top deck in a Brawl. That's not what I want to see in this particular match. Most of his characters are either going to be little one-off dudes that are just going to get traded for cards really quick anyway before a Brawl even matters, or they have 3 strength or greater and Brawl doesn't work on them. So I ink it, we play another Sisu, and then pass it back to Gambit. Gambit here's goal is largely to generate value with his characters and gain that incidental lore. So here's the value. He's got another strength, unfortunately for us. We're not going to get another Flynn pressure here. Now both characters are questing. All 4, or all 3 technically, for 4 lore. This Chernobog is going to pop, grab him a card. Like I said, these things like to just trade for value, and Gambit's very adamant about trading these things for cards pretty quickly. Now he's going to play a character, and I guarantee he's going to pop the Magic Broom. Just because I know his play pattern, that's what he's going to do. Sorry, Gambit, you're kind of like the AI. Just a little bit. So we're playing a Fox here, Madam M Fox. I do a little overlay just so it's clear. The glare on that particular card was really awful. It's strange, like there's a subtle glare in that position for other cards, but that Fox, just a white sheet. You could not see it in the video for some reason. Top deck and a Be Prepared. So now I'm thinking, well, I gotta be prepared. Do I just try to generate some value here? And if I gain enough value, I'll just keep it. But if he finds a way to take down my Genies and build up his board, that Be Prepared feels really, really good. I'm excited to have it in my hand. And we can play it as early as next turn if we want to. Quest for Genie. I'm going to hold on to Flynn for a little longer, because the threat of me being able to play something and Flynn just automatically being turned back on, and now he has to deal with this big threat I've just played and Flynn, that feels really good. Now the question is, how long can I hold on to it before I'm actively hurting myself? Could it have quested and got me something I needed? Is it possible to sing a thing? You know, like those are the things I'm trying to think about here. As far as singing goes, no, Flynn can't sing. There's nothing in the deck to sing for him. And he's still playing Pete's. I'm not super heartbroken about Pete. It does delay a potential board wipe here for me, so I can't play Be Prepared. But there's only a handful of cards in the deck that Pete actually stops me from playing. Most of my deck is still very, very much active. So I'm not actually worried about ever seeing Pete come down. So instead, I kept my Genies, so there's no way I was going to play a Be Prepared anyway. So we're going to quest out with the Genies. I am thinking, is this the turn to do a Flynn? And then it occurs to me, no, I think I can play Big Sisu next turn. Maybe get 1 or 2 characters from the opponent. And then I'll have the biggest threat on board, which turns on Flynn. So I'm not going to do anything with Flynn here. But is there anything else I could do? Yeah, I am actually going to do something with Flynn. He's got a Mr. Smee. I'm counting in my head. He's at 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Goes to 17 with a Mr. Smee. And then I only can get up to 18 maximum on my turn. Nope, that's a losing play. I actually did have to attack Mr. Smee. It's the only way to keep me in the game. So we're going to bounce a Pete here with the snake, replay a Pete. So again, no be prepared. They are very much playing around it. Gambit lovingly picking up the Pete for the camera to show us that he did pick it up with the snake. There's another Flynn. It's a little late. I can't play the be prepared. But I do make a pretty big mistake here because I was thinking about the be prepared. Pete actually was a thorn in my side. I can't play it. And so I'm just thinking about 7-8. I'm not thinking about the fact that I could be at 8-8. And I do make a pretty, it's not a major misplay, but it is 100% a misplay here. I am going to forget that I can ink for a moment. I'm going to do something incredibly silly, and that is attack with the rabbit to take out Diablo, because again, I'm counting. He currently has 5 characters, each worth 1 lore, which would take him to 20. So something he has needs to get off the board. So rabbit, because I forgot that about my Sisu. I forgot I could ink, and I'm only just now seeing it. I'm like, crap, I always ink face up. That's how I know if I can ink or not. And I messed up because rabbit could have just quested, taking me to 17. It wouldn't have won the game by any means, but it is a misplay. I could have been at 17. Here I am freaking out about it, like, oh no, I'm such an idiot. Because Sisu would have just taken out Diablo automatically. But here's where it didn't really matter. They top decked a white rose. Either way, Diablo was going to be banished, allowing him to draw just deep enough to get that top rose. It was his card for turn. All right, let's try this mulligan thing on camera again one more time.
All right.
Feel free to pause the video to see the hand.
I will send back 5.
Okay, we're gonna do probably that. Probably that. And I think that's it. Okay, let's show the camera. I'm just going to send back these 2. So we have 2 cards, draw 2. And then for the camera, that's what we just picked up. Those are cardboard.
Ooh. The fact that you only had to send back 2 isn't comforting.
All right. Feel free to kick us off.
Okay, I will ink this big giant dragon. Exert for a popsicle to draw a card.
That's the popsicle.
And I will pass with 6 in hand.
Alright, ready, set, draw. That's what I drew. Let's go ahead and I'm going to ink a snake, and I will pass the turn. Has no turn 1 play.
Great. I will ready. Feel free to get rid of all that bounce stuff.
I'm working on it.
No more of that. Let's ink Hideaway.
Yeah, go ahead and hide that away.
Use 2 for Sail the Azurite Sea.
Sail.
I'll draw a card. Let's go ahead and do the additional ink Vision of the Future. And I will spend that on another popsicle.
Oh, that is the god draw right there. That's nice. Popsicle into a sail into a popsicle.
And I will pass turn with 5 in hand.
Nice. Okay. That's draws card. Oh, that's lovely to draw right now. That's okay. You know what? I'm going to ink it so you also know what I just drew. That would have been fantastic last turn. Especially considering my turn 2 play. I shall play Flynn. And I will pass the turn. He is the frenemy you never knew you needed.
Okay. Ready. Draw for turn. Not a big fan of this, but I will ink Tipo. A 3/4 brawl on your Flynn.
Oh boy. Hey, it's better than a Flaversham.
A 1 for a popsicle.
Oh, he's getting all the popsicles.
And I will pass turn with 4 in hand.
Man, I need to have steel and play I find out my platinum right now. That'd be fantastic.
That's an annoying card to play against too.
Well, you're not making this easy for me, so I think we're just going to begrudgingly ink another snake. And then I will spend 3 on a Sisu. In Bolden Warrior. And I will pass the turn.
Okay. Wow, that would have been really great with your...
With the Flynn. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. You just had to brawl me.
This also does not feel good. I have to ink this Maui shark.
Oh, that's one of my least favorite things to have to do.
A 2 for Sail the Azurite Sea.
Love that for you.
I will ink Vision of the Future. 4 for Grammatala.
Oh, I'm feeling for that Flaversham, man.
And I will keep 1 in hand. Whoops. And drop that one under. And pass the turn with 3 in hand.
All right. Ready, set, draw. And we are drawing that guy. Okay. Okay. Well, let's see then. I think we're going to start by having Sisu sing a Friends on the Other Side. Ooh. She's looking for buddies. And that's what we've picked up. That's kind of hard. Bend the elbow, Winter. And then I will ink this crab and play this frenemy.
Oh, cool.
All right, I will pass the turn. That very much, it sounded like you're going to go somewhere else with it, and you're just like, no, it's cool. It's cool. It's fine. This is fine. You're like the dog in the burning building. This is fine.
Yeah, right. Okay. Oh, I don't really... This is so bad. Okay. I'm gonna spend 1 on my 4th popsicle.
Wow. All 4 popsicles.
Yeah.
Now, if only you had a Flaversham.
Yeah, I'll ink this Maleficent. I will use 2 to play Ice Block and Vitalisphere. I'm running out of room here.
Yeah, your board's just nothing but items right now.
Yep. I'll go ahead and use Ice Block on your Sisu.
Oh no. How many cards you got in hand?
1.
Oh, so now she just has 1 strength. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And let's see.
You got a brawl for me? Is that what's happening?
No, if I did, I would have used it already. Now, what I need to decide is, do I just want to challenge your Sisu so I can get rid of it next turn, or quest for 1? Let's go ahead and challenge.
Challenging. Okay. 3 damage on the Sisu, 1 damage on the Tala. That's not great.
And I will pass with 1 in hand.
Okay. Ready, set, and draw. Looks like I'm not turning Sisu sideways this turn. Let us see here. I do have in some options.
Well, I don't like that.
No Flynn trigger this turn. That's awkward. Let's go ahead and actually quest with Sisu for 2. Haha, you didn't see that coming. And then
Okay.
I'm going to ink this brawl. I'm going to quest with Flynn, go to 3. We're going to pay 3 for a Fox and 2 to replay Flynn when I bounce it to my hand with Fox's ability. Okay, I think that is officially my turn donezo.
Okay.
Yeah, see, who needs a Sisu with no strength when you can have a 4-powered Fox?
I will draw for turn.
Just don't play a Maui on me and I'll be fine. Or I suppose I'd be prepared. You are up there, aren't you? You did ramp twice.
Mm-hmm. I will spend 6 for Maui.
Maui!
And I think I'm just going to stay. Pass turn with 1 in hand.
Really?
Yep.
I am genuinely surprised that you wouldn't ice block my Sisu, power up the Maui, and have Maui challenge in.
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Okay. Then I shall ready, set, and draw. That's what we drew. That is a card. Okay. Let's see. What are we looking at here? What am I dealing with? I don't get Flynn trigger because Maui Shark is a thing. I think I'm going to do... I'm feeling a bit behind here. We're going to do 4. Play a genie. Draw a card. Okay, that is also a thing. Let's have the Fox sing a Friends on the Other Side. How can I deal with this pesky little shark? Alright, this is what we have drawn. These are the new cards. Yep, those ones right there that we just drew. I got 1 ink left, huh? I think we're going to ink a goat. Alright, I think I'm just going to have to do it this way. Let's go ahead and have Sisu sing Friends on the Other Side.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you can have popsicles, I can have friends.
Yeah.
Alright, and these are the new cards. Let's go ahead and play one of those new cards. Magic a Broom! 3 friends in the discard pile. I have 3 friends and a frenemy. Something tells me I'm probably not going to get this rider to do anything. Yeah, I'll wait. I'll pass the turn. Let's just call it right there. Happy where I'm at.
Okay.
Happy's a strong word. I am where I'm at.
I will draw for turn. I will use 2 to play Sail the Azurite Sea.
Oh, you gain a
Card.
lore.
Gain a lore. Let's brawl the genie.
Oh, not my genie. He's all foily and stuff. Oh, you gain a lore, by the way.
Oh, you're right.
Every action. It's not a May ability.
Oh boy. Well, this really hurts. I'm gonna have to ink a brawl.
I know, it's done some work.
Yeah. Let's ice block your Sisu. Challenge with Maui. So it take no damage.
No damage. Sisu's gone, and you get a challenge trigger.
Yep. I picked up a. Yeah, I feel like I need the brawl to try and control the board a little bit. Let's trade Tala for your Fox.
Fox down.
Let's go ahead and brawl out your frenemy.
It's 2 frenemies gone. I think that might be all of the frenemies.
And that is another point for me. And that's it. I'll be passing with no cards in hand.
Alright, perfect. I think it's time for me to take over this game. I'm sure you may have suspected that Grandma Tala was giving me issues. Draw the card. And then we will immediately spend 6 on a Lady Tremaine.
How do you keep finding that thing?
I will not do the magic broom. I will take quest for neat ink. We're going to ink a Sisu. And then I will pass the turn.
Okay.
I don't know. She's definitely a floater. Also, I draw cards very well. I played a lot of characters that draw, and then 3 friends.
That's true.
Yeah, the level of card draw definitely feels a lot more consistent.
I'm going to look through my discard pile real quick.
That's not reassuring at all.
Oh.
More than enough to play a shark and a Vital Sphere.
I'm just going to have to pass with 1.
Okay, no shark for me.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. I'd have to find a way to bounce my Lady Tremaine. Alright, ready. Set. Draw. That's what we drew. Okay, let us go. First, quest for 1 here, go to 5. And then I'm going to do 4 for a rabbit. Multiple triggers. I get a card draw, and then I'm going to sacrifice the broom to draw another card. So I'm going to draw 2 cards here.
Okay.
1 and 2. And for the camera, there they are. Those are the 2. We will quest for 2 with Lady Tremaine, go to 7. I am then going to ink a magic broom. And hopefully I'm not walking into a Be Prepared here. I am going a little wide. Let's play a Genie and draw a card. And that's the card we drew. Okay, and that is all I could do. I will pass the turn.
Alright. Draw for turn.
Be prepared. I'm ready for it. I'm prepared.
And all I can do is play this Tamatoa.
Okay, Tamatoa. That is not a be prepared.
But I don't have any items in the deck to get back, so I will
Oh, really?
pass turn. Yeah.
You could have.
I
used
could
a
have, yeah. I
popsicle.
just thought about it. To heal one of your nothings. And
Yeah, I think you can even crack it with no targets. You activate it and then choose no targets.
Probably should have. Wouldn't have been able to play it, so.
Let's go ahead and just be as annoying as possible. First, let's show the audience what I drew. That's what we got. And now let's go ahead and be just annoying. Let's do 8 and play Elsa, one of in the deck. I will exert your Tamatoa. Tamatoa will not ready at the start of your next turn.
Okay.
I will go ahead and quest for 5. Go to 12. And I will not miss my ink. Oh, ink a little Elsa, the 5th spirit. And I will pass the turn.
Okay. Draw for turn. Tamatoa does not ready. Ice block your genie and Sisu it.
Sisu and my genie. That's one Jin in the graveyard. Oh, wrong game. Sorry. That's magic.
There's really nothing for me, so now I have to pass with one in hand.
One in hand. As long as it's not to be prepared, I am satisfied. Alright. Turn. That is who we picked up. I'm at 12, 15, 16, 17, 18. Don't get too caught up in doing stuff on the board when potentially a victory. There's not. I'm looking. There's not. Okay. Dude has ice blocks, so big Cisu's a problem. Alright, I think we go 5. I'm going to play Elsa, the 5th spirit, and exert your Sisu. And since Elsa has rush and evasive, I will challenge your Sisu.
Okay.
Alright, with my other 4, I will play another Genie. Right. That is what we drew. I will then ink the card I drew. Chernobog's followers. And then we're going to have just a good old time here. We're going to quest for 6. Go to 18. And I will pass the turn. Feels pretty good.
Yeah, sure it does. And my Tamatoa can ready now, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Not that it really matters. Gotta spend 4 on well, you know what I got? A Flavisham.
Flavisham.
Gonna use 2 to play Vision of the Future. Look at the top 5.
Uh-oh. Getting low on ink. I'm guessing the answer wasn't there, though.
Okay, keep 1. I can pay 1 to play an Ice Block, which will give me quest for 7. Do 10.
Oh, that's a big quest, though. My goodness.
Yeah, I can't do anything else though, so that's it. Pass.
All right. Keep it short and simple. Ready, set, draw. That's what I draw. And I will quest for 3 with Elsa and close the game.
All right.
Boop. Man, that was savage. All right, going first. We do have to include an Inktable.net game just for reference sake. Really? We just want to be able to see what were videos like then, what are videos like now. So of course we're going to include this. I don't know if we're going to continue to include an Inktable game in every video moving forward, but I definitely wanted to have one in this video just as a little bit of a comparison. So let's take a look at our opening hand. It is slow. Let's put back the expensive cards. Put back Goat. I will keep a Brawl. All right, give me a 1-drop. Oh, we got close. We almost missed it. It was almost tragic, but we got there. All right, let's put you back. Let's play my 1-drop. Pass the turn. All right, what? Inking Elsa the 5th Spirit. Playing Cursed Merfolk. Okay. I guess we're inking a Brawl. Let's quest. Do not use your ability because we want to bounce you with a snake. I'm a snake. What am I discarding? I'm going to discard Madame Medusa because I definitely don't want them just gaining 2 lore every single turn. Moana's pretty good too. Alright, we're definitely challenging you. And now here's a question, right? Moana's probably ink and I'm almost certainly playing Sisu this turn. Is there anything else? I mean, you could be ink. Like, I'm not playing either one of you anytime soon. I think we're actually going to... Let's get rid of Moana, actually. Hate to say it. Seems like a cool card, but it's just not gonna cut it. Alright, big powerhouse Sisu. Ursula whiffs. There are songs in our deck, but not a lot. Another Cursed Merfolk. Now he's not bad, but I think I want to get this genie down. For sure. Another Maui, okay. Never punished. Love that. Alright, now I got 2 solid attackers. And Sisu's a pretty decent quester. Genie's also a really good quester. Especially being evasive. That's fine. I got a Madame Medusa. I got a Brawl. We're gonna take down your Genie. Your Genie does not stand a chance. That's really good too. That's really good too. Alright, let's start by singing this. There we go. See, Goat. Always fantastic ink. We're definitely playing the Brawl. Get rid of their Genie. Challenge you. I want to get rid of that Cursed Merfolk, but I kind of want some more cards in my hand. And at this point, I think I could race it pretty easily. Depends on how much they flood the board. Now, obviously, we're going to have a good removal here. There's the great target. All right, I think we're fine. I think we're fine. Ink you, play you, get rid of a Genie. Yeah, let's go ahead and sing you. And I kind of like both. If they play another Ursula, though, I'm going to be sad. So let's challenge. Oop, not with you. Let's challenge here. Let's get rid of this Be Prepared. That way we dodge a little Ursula. And it's not like I need it at this moment anyway. Quest for 2. Best turn. Alright, we're in a very solid spot now. Alright, Alright, we will save Madame Medusa in case they play something like a Elsa the Fifth Spirit or something. Play Genie. Draws a card. And we just quest out. Yeah, it's gonna be super hard to lose the game from this position. That was pretty dominating, actually. Do I want to bounce a thing? That's a question. 14, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I mean, I can afford to bounce the thing. Yeah, let's bounce the thing. Let's bounce a snake. No tradesies on the snakes, please. That way there's... Yeah, I just don't have trades at the moment. They would just lose the snake if they wanted to attack. Gets pretty good. I still have exactly lethal, though. Quest for 2. Quest for 2. Quest for 1. And... I mean, I just quest for 1, right? I'm trying to be cheeky and just play some stuff. I don't want to. Let's just win the game. All right, a solid 6-minute game before edits. Like, pretty good. Okay.